So no football game is complete without its halftime show, and no halftime show is complete without the marching band. The marching band is a vital point of any halftime show, and today I'd like to tell you a couple things about the marching band. First, it got its start in the military. It teaches its members life lessons that they can use in adulthood, and it has its own competitions that people can compete in and watch. First of all, the marching band got its start in the military, and where it eventually became ceremonial as nations began to fight less and have more time to perform music. Uniforms were very military-based, which influences the way you see most marching band uniforms. They're very linear and they're very official-looking, and that has its roots in the military. The very first performance of a marching band was at the University of Illinois in 1907, and it eventually, after this, was adapted into the high school format, where you see a lot of bands competing at that level. And where they began to introduce more instruments like woodwinds and introduce more brass instruments and drumline. And this final evolution of marching band was when they began incorporating color guard and drill teams. And once you begin incorporating this, you begin to see marching shows that are less about ceremony and more about the art form and conveying a message of some sort to judges or to an audience. Second of all, the marching band teaches the students life lessons, valuable life lessons that they can carry into their life, leading on into the workforce, into music, or whatever it is they're doing. First of all, it teaches kids commitment to a long-term goal with a team, which is really important in the job, because as an employee, you have to work with your coworkers to achieve a goal, whether it's a short-term goal or a long-term goal. It really helps knowing that you have a lot of members that can work well together and can achieve a goal at the highest level possible. The second thing that it really teaches its members is a responsibility towards achieving this goal. The marching band members spend a lot of time outside and putting in hard work on a show that they want to effectively convey a message to the judges with. Knowing that someone would spend so much time and effort on such a task makes them really well suited for employing for achieving goals. Because if they're willing to put in hours and hours in the sun to get a show on the field, imagine what they could do if you gave them a job to complete. And to extend on that point, it highlights their readiness to achieve these really great goals. For my next point, we're going to discuss the type of competitions that marching bands compete in. The first is BOA, or Bands of America, and UIL, University Interscholastic League, which are both competed in at the high school level. This is where high schools march their prepared shows with a full band, excluding the double reeds unless they don't march, and they compete for judges who judge the point on a 100-point scale. And for UIL, they start at a district level and they work up to a state level. And for BOA, it's open to any band in the entire country, and it's an open band sort of thing. And they have different sort of judges and an entirely different judging system. But getting into that would take forever, so I'm going to move on to the next part of the next competition level, which is DCI. DCI is open to around 16 to the age of 21. Any brass instrument or percussion instrument is welcome. So a drum line, a brass line, and then more modern bands begin to use the auxiliary percussion, or a pit. And it's about as close as one can get to a professional marching band, as those bands are known for power, and they're known for being really loud and in your face, and doing things that people in high school bands would think is like not even approachable. Like, I've seen some bands throw their horns up into the air, catch them, and play them, which high school bands obviously would not even dream of doing. And to tie this up, despite the marching band's roots in the halftime show, the marching band is a lot more multifaceted than a lot of people come to think of them as. Most people think that marching bands are just, they're just there for the halftime show, which may be true for some college bands, but for a lot of people in the high school level, or people that sign up for DCI, they do a lot more things with their band program than just do a halftime show. The marching band as an organization really shows a person's character, and it shows their dedication to a task. And these are skills that really can help them move on into the workforce and be effective members of society. And it is also a show of pride and support for their sports organizations in the halftime show, because even though that may not be their main focus, they still do show their support for the sports teams. And they do have the same ideals that sports teams exemplify, which is teamwork, sportsmanship, and dedication. Thank you.